Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to what do you call this day today, Almond Joy?
Mindful Monday.
Welcome to Mindful Mondays and welcome to our podcast. Let's talk about it. I am your host, Samantha, and I have my wonderful, awesome co host, Miss Almond Joy, riding shotgun next door to me. If this is your first time stopping by our channel, our podcast, let us say welcome. Guess what? We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel, help this channel grow. We also ask that you give the videos a thumbs up. Once again, help the channel to grow, help our content get out there to those who really, really, really need to hear this, those who want to be included in the conversations, those who want to talk about it. Therefore, with that being said, we also ask or recommend that you comment down in the comment section. The only requirement that we ask is that you keep your comments clean and respectful. Here on this podcast, we talk about a little bit of everything. Anything from toxic relationships, dating, all kind of ships, situationships, friendships, parentships, whatever kind of ship you own. We
Entanglements.
what you say?
Entanglements.
Yes, and think of any type of thing you got going on. If it comes across our table, we definitely are going to talk about it. Again, we just ask that you keep it respectful with your comments in the comments section. Again, if you subscribe to our channel, make sure that you also hit the notification bell. That's very, very important. Subscribe, notification bell. So that way, when we put out new podcasts, you get notified. Okay? We don't want you to miss any of these conversations. Now, with that being said, we are going to get into our topic. And today, our topic is what was that, Almond Joy?
Common courtesy.
Common courtesy. Listen, we have our little side talks, which makes for good public talks because I'm sure Almond Joy and I are not the only two that experience people that don't have common courtesy. I call it common sense, but on the next level, it really is just common courtesy, especially when you hear kind of the backstory. So here goes. So I'm a part of a few, well, I used to be a part of a few different dating sites. I've narrowed it down. Now I only have a profile up on the Facebook dating site. So you get these guys. I can't even call them men, really. You get these guys. So on this particular site, they have like if they like your picture or like your profile or whatever, they heart you, and then you get a notification such and such liked you, such and such liked your photo, blah blah blah. So you go through and you see these 15, 20 people that liked you. 99% you don't like them, so you X. And then you see one, I guess I'll give this a shot. And so I did. So the latest one was a gentleman, and we had conversation. Um, and conversation went well initially, as they always do. Anybody that's out there in the dating world, you kind of know that this vicious cycle, first conversation is okay for the most part. Second conversation could be okay, but sometimes it turns left really quick because for some reason these guys want to jump over to talking about sex real quick. I don't know if it is women that's making it so easy for them to jump to the sexual questions or conversation so quick, but what gets me is okay, why is it okay for them to jump and talk about sex so quick, but it's like a stab in their heart or their gut if I start talking about paying my mortgage or paying my car note, or paying my bills. If I start talking about that, then then the conversation really gets crazy. Then they want to call us hoes and prostitutes because we asking for you to pay our rent, mortgage, or whatever. But it's okay for y'all to ask for them to ask for sex or tell you about they 12 inches or 8 inches or whatever inches that they at. Just totally unnecessary. So that is the experience with that the whole dating world. Anyway, back to this guy. So we missed each other. Like, let's say I sent him a text. Good morning. He called. I wasn't able to answer. I called him right back. I guess he wasn't able to answer. I immediately sent a nice text. Hey, I missed your phone call. I called you right back. But maybe you got busy. Anyway, call me when you get another opportunity and we'll talk later. So you would think you send a text to somebody, it takes like 5 seconds for them to respond, right? You would be like, mm, did he send like a okay or cool? I'll talk to you later. Mm-mm. He didn't say anything back. I mean, what would you think about something like that?
Well, we were talking about how technology has made it so simple where
Mm-hmm.
you could just literally push a button that says call you later or I'm on a call, where it's less than even where you don't even have to think about it. If you see it. You know what I'm saying? If you see it immediately, you just boom, push that button and it's done.
Real quick. So I'm almost sure he saw it. Excuse me. Because, like I said, as soon as he tried to call me and I wasn't able to answer, I called him right back.
It wasn't like he called and then 15 minutes later you saw the call. It's like the phone is ring, ring, ring. Oh, you're trying to get to the phone. You missed the call and then you push read out and then to get the person right back. So within that split second, the person is still holding the phone. So it's like, I see, just the common courtesy of treating people the way you want to be treated.
And
I
that's the
think,
magic term right there, common courtesy. People don't have any common courtesy. I mean, to me, it's like common sense. I mean, because I'm thinking, okay, well, what's going through his mind when he sees you see the missed call, you see the text message. So what's going through your mind that you don't respond? Are you saying she ain't that important, or I'll call her back whenever I get ready to, or I'm too important to send a common courtesy response to acknowledge her text message? All it is just simple acknowledgement. Hey, okay, I saw you text. It don't have to be nothing long and drawn out. If you're not a big texter, that's fine. If you prefer to talk on the phone, that's fine. But if somebody sends you a text trying to, I'm trying to let him, I could have easily just ignored him and not sent the text or not said shit.
and then two, like you said, did he sit up and say, because you already know it's an uncomfortable conversation to be had. So did he think about it and say, I know what happened yesterday. How do I play this? Or how am I going to approach it? And he just decide, you know what? Um, and I called so she could see that I called.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, so you guys, what happened was Sunday, we were supposed to have met up at 4 o'clock. That was the conversation we had. I talked to him at 12 that day. I said, okay, well, let me let you get off the phone so you can get yourself together and head towards my side of town, which he was going to a friend's house, I guess, to look at the game. Now, as far as I know, okay, you're going to head to your friend's house. And around 4 o'clock, sometimes we're supposed to meet up. So 4 o'clock came and went. I didn't hear anything. 5 o'clock rolls around. One of my other good friends said, "Well, just send him a text. Just say hey to see if you get a response." And she said, "One of a couple of things are gonna happen. Either you're gonna pick up the phone, he's gonna call you, or you're gonna respond via text." And sure enough, he responded via text. "Hey, love, I'm still in XYZ." Um, okay, well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? It's now after 5 o'clock. So then another good, well, now Almond Joy says, "Well, let's pull a whole card and see if he really trying to meet up and just go from there." So I went on ahead, something I normally would not even do because I throw the baby out with the bathwater quick. So I go ahead and I respond to see, okay, well, are we still meeting up? What you got going on? Some crap like that. Anyway, so this guy says, yeah, my specific text to him was, what time and where is a good place for us to meet? He responded with some nonsense saying, good. Hold on, let me tell you exactly what this nonsense said. So let me go back a little bit. So I initially told him, hey, I've been waiting almost 2 hours to understand where we're going to meet today, as we discussed. So I went on to tell him, well, I hope you are enjoying yourself. Have a terrific evening, and we'll catch up some other time. Because at this point, it's just way past the time. And he responds, huh? Dumb, like they dumbfounded. And then he says, no, Queen, I want to see you. Really? Okay. So anyway, that's when Almond Joy was like, well, go on, pull that whole card and let's see. So I tell him, okay, well, what time were you thinking and where's a good place to meet? His response is, good. Somewhere off of the main street, off of the freeway. He named the freeway that he was near. So I'm just like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? So I'm just like, anyway, time. What time are you talking about? So he responds with 6:30. So at this point, it's already maybe 10 minutes to 6. So anywhere we would be meeting, for me to get there by 6:30, I would have had to get dressed and leave out the house right away. So that wasn't happening, which I wasn't really interested in meeting up anyway because it was already way past the time. He had already dropped the ball by not communicating. That's the other big thing, communication. It don't take long. When he was on his way to wherever he was, where his friend stayed, he should have sent the text, hey, I'm headed out that way now. And, I'll touch base with you in an hour or 2 hours.
Or he could have just said, "Hey, I made it to my friend's house. Look like we're gonna be here. Um, I'm watching the game. I'm into it. Can we reschedule?"
You're right. Exactly. But I got nothing. Had I not reached out to him initially, like my other friend suggested, Lord knows what time I would have heard from him, if I would have even heard from him, period. So it's just like, it's not a big deal. Don't get it twisted. But it's just like, again, common courtesy. You reached out to me on the Facebook app. You had conversation with me about how you really looking for a serious relationship and you really want to be in a serious relationship and you learned this and you learned that from your prior marriage and you child free at your house and blah blah all this other crap
And,
that they talk.
and also, he reached out to you about the 4 o'clock thing because if he wouldn't have called you and said where that he was going to XYZ,
Right.
he just said he was going to XYZ and I'll talk to you later. He didn't even have to mention the meetup. He mentioned the
Right.
meetup. You didn't say, hey, you're gonna be XYZ. I want to see like you're just desperate and you just want to see me. You didn't do that. That
No.
was his idea. So since it was his idea, when he changed his mind, he could have had the common courtesy to say, hey, today is not a good day. We'll set it up for another day. That's all he had to do. And
It's
then you were because you already had your day planned out anyway before he
right.
said that. But just imagine had you had the mindset, well, okay, he's saying 4 o'clock, I'm going to cancel everything because he said we're going to meet up today. I'm going to cancel everything today, and I'm going to go out and meet this person to see what he's all about because he sounds interesting. He sounds like he has a good head on his shoulder, and he sounds like that. He said that he was looking for a stable person to be in a stable relationship with somebody who doesn't play games.
Exactly. And what kills me is when universe or God or whatever you believe in delivers that to you on a platter. It never fails. They drop the platter every single time. It's like this is being hand delivered to you. This person that you say you want, that you're looking for, is being hand delivered to you, and you fumble it. It's like you fumble it behind the simplest shit. It's simple communication. It's simple. 1 + 1 = 2. Just communicate. Say what's what. Stop playing games. So it's like, you know, it's really nerve wracking. It's really sad. I don't know what these guys have turned into. I don't know. It's not even a chase because you ain't caught nothing yet.
And the thing is, if you're not ready, then why are you on the platform? It's
Why
like
are you on
if
the
you're not ready to, I'm not. I've admitted, you know what I'm saying. I went on there, dibble dabble. I didn't even. I respond to like one person, and he sent me a good morning thing, and it was like, "Hey, beautiful," and I started smiling. I was like, and I responded back, and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad I made you smile." But it wasn't a match because they were matching me with people who were way younger.
You know, I noticed that too. I'm like, why are these 25-year-olds? I didn't put in a age range of 25, so
Right, 25 and 24. I even
there
got
has
one
to
of
be
22.
it has to
And
be
I'm just
some
like,
kind of fluke in
I'm
that.
like, do they not see? Because I'm like, do they not see what I put? Because they still, I mean, I guess you can. And then too, I think with him, he was like maybe just like a friendly thing because he
Hmm.
was like really nice. He was like, yeah, you can meet some interesting people. But my point in saying that is, I'm not ready. So I got off of it. So I'm not gonna keep on, you know what I'm saying, toying with people's emotions when I know
Right,
I'm not ready. If you're not ready, you're just not ready. Or if you're not interested after you have that initial phone call or whatever meeting y'all have, if you're not interested, let the person know. It's like you're not gonna be like, oh, well, I don't want to let them know is because it's gonna hurt their feelings. So I'd rather just not say nothing. That's not being considerate. If you're not interested in me, just tell me, hey, it was nice to meet you. I enjoyed our conversations, but you know, uh, you know what I'm saying. Don't be rude. I was gonna say you're just not the one, but you know what I'm trying to say. I just can't find the word for it. You can be respectful and say that, you know, how you can say it better than I can because I can't think of the words.
girl, just common sense, common courtesy, all the stuff we already been naming, and they just for some reason they just can't seem to get it right. Excuse me,
Like
and I'm
how hard is it? Why I think they call it ghosting instead of just
yeah.
when you're not interested anymore. They just drop off.
So my thing is, okay, back to this guy. For one, I know you saw the text message. You're not that damn busy at work to like send a text real quick. You get a lunch break throughout the day, I'm sure. So how committed and how serious really are you to dating? And apparently you weren't really that committed. Excuse me. The games come on all day, and like you said, they have the replays. So if you're really interested in trying to be committed or seeing if a friendship can be established that can be moved on to the next level of a relationship, because he on the phone all talking is, yeah, make sure you tell your friends you got you a new boo. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay,
What was
you
that saying? What was that saying we were saying yesterday? A person will make time. I forgot what we were talking about. A person will make time for somebody
what's important.
if they really want to. That's it. Or you
Yeah,
know, however you say it.
yeah. A lot of people know that, And people know that. People make time for what's important to them, or
Right.
things that they want to pursue. So how important, so obviously the game was more important than uh meeting me for at least an hour just for a simple, meet and greet, cup of coffee, Starbucks, a cupcake place, whatever. Um, but no, they think some ladies are just desperate enough to be sitting on the sidelines,
So
just
sitting on the side of the freeway ramp.
just sitting on the side of the freeway, waiting for them to finally say, hey, an hour later, hey, where you at? I'm on my way. It's like, excuse me? No, not me. I'm not sitting around waiting on anything. Oh, and back to what you were saying about canceling plans. I followed this one pastor, R.C. Blake's, on YouTube, and he primarily focuses on teaching ladies how to be queens and what queens don't put up, what they won't put up with, what they won't tolerate. And one of the things he was saying was never cancel your plans for a man. If you already got other plans and then he want to hit you up last minute, hey, what's up? Don't cancel your plans to go see him. And I agree with that 100%. I wish I would, because just like you said earlier, what if I had canceled stuff based on me thinking we were going to meet up around 4 o'clock when I talked to this clown at 12:30 earlier in the day? To travel from where he lived to where he went, that was like an hour and 15-minute travel. I mean, I don't know how beautiful he has to get himself before he leaves out of his house. I know some people can get ready in 5 minutes. Some people it takes an hour to get ready. But if you're a man, I don't think it should take you that long to get yourself to wash your ass and head out to where you're going. And again, stay in constant communication. Consistency is also key. Be consistent. I feel like this. We got off the phone 12 something. When he got done getting himself together and getting ready, when he got ready to get on the road, I feel like he could have called and talked to me as he headed to where he was going, or he could have just sent a text, hey, heading out that way now. I'll call you a little bit after I make it to my destination. Fine. Bam. That would have let me know right then, okay, he's serious about us meeting up. He's staying in contact. The communication is good. He's being consistent. So that's why they say have your discernment together, have your intuition sharpened, and look for red flags. Just it says pay attention to people's actions, not what they say. Because people will say a whole bunch of bull crap that sounds good, or it sounds good, but the actions show you something totally different. So his actions showed me that you're not really that serious about
All right.
uh,
And,
getting a
and again, he made the suggestion. You didn't make the suggestion.
right,
He could have been like, "Oh, I'm going to my friend's house to watch the game today. I hope your day goes well."
right, right,
He didn't even have to
right.
mention that it was close to where you at or whatever. He mentioned it, so his intention was probably never to mention it, but it sounded good to say that.
Sounded good to say that. And then, like I said, he said, "Well, let's meet up at 6:30." Oh, that's I never finished reading that last little piece of communication. So when he said 6:30, mind you, initially 4 o'clock was in my brain, but I'm just gonna pull a whole card, see what he gonna wind up saying. So I just wound up telling him, well, that's a bit later than I would have liked for us to have met up. So we'll just table our meetup for another time, and we will talk soon. This grown ass man sends me back a sad face emoji. Uh, who does that? Not a communication to say, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry that that's too late. Yes, we'll talk soon. Or is it okay if I call you later? or I'll call you tomorrow, or something. Use words. What the hell you gonna send me a sad face emoji? I'm like, okay, clearly, yeah, no, he's not it. Mm-mm. Too many red flags. Too early. I understand. Again, like my grandfather used to say, if you start off wrong, you're gonna end up wrong. To me, you're already starting off wrong. Your communication is not on point. It's not being consistent. You've dropped the ball. And like I said, the communication today, I sent you a text and you don't even say anything. And that's the second time I've sent him a text and he didn't respond. A few days ago, uh, I had sent a text. Anyway, that's no longer. Let me see. Let me see.
So the point is, are if your intention is really not to do something with a person, don't say it. It's like if you don't mean it, it's like why say it? Why have that person sitting around anticipating something when they could just be going on about their own little way like they was already gonna do?
Minding their
You set
own.
up a scenario for it to be now awkward. If you were the type of person that would still, what I'm saying, try to, make it work.
Try to see where this
Yeah,
goes.
let me just see where it goes. But he's already showing himself, and people will show you who they are. And then I think that's the problem. And what happens is that we stay. Now, noticing it's not a relationship. And we're not talking about relationships, but sometimes we stay in relationships thinking stuff is going to change, and it doesn't. People stay in marriages like, oh, it's going to get better. Oh, his or her attitude towards me is going to change. She's gonna learn to love me, or he's going to learn to like me, or maybe one day he'll stop hitting me. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny. I'm just saying we stick in it, but showing you who he is right now. So will he be consistent in that if it goes further and be because he's like this is who I am. So accept him for who he is.
Yep.
Accept that and say, okay, do I want to deal with this or do I not? Do I not want to deal with this?
Mm-hmm.
You're choosing to not deal with it because that's not what you're looking for.
Right. And like you said, you showed me early on that you you have, to me, bad communication skills, bad follow up skills. You're not following up. You're not communicating. So if I'm seeing this now, it's gonna be all on me if I decide to continue to give it a chance. And that's what happens. We give it a chance. We give it a chance. We give it a chance. And by the time you look up 10 years later, you
Like
still giving it a
it's,
chance. It
right,
ain't shit changed.
like it's 10 years later. I'm like, and you talk to your friend like he still don't communicate. He didn't communicate the first time I talked to him. I don't know why I thought he was gonna change.
Exactly. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be different. That's because people, we tend to try to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it's just not gonna fit. It's just up front. You saw what it was. We tend to turn a blind eye, and it's just that simple. We tend to turn a blind eye. We tend to want to make things work. So, it's like, okay, if I say, okay, if he calls me when he get off work, I'm gonna hear what he gotta say, and I'm gonna hear the bullshit that he gotta say, and then I'm gonna decide from there. Okay, well, let's make plans for Saturday, and then Saturday comes, and then the same shit repeats itself. Then I'll be mad at myself because why? Because my intuition and the red flags were already there. I already knew better. So why even make plans with this person? Why give them another chance? I'm not saying that people don't deserve second chances. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is people have a tendency to waste people's time. And at this day and age, for me,
Right.
I'm not nobody's toy. I don't have
You
time.
have
I
to.
don't have time to be playing games.
Everybody has to do what's good for them. Because there's some people, like you said, everybody does deserve second chances, and he deserves a second chance, just not with you. Maybe somebody else at the time in their life, they feel like, okay, this is something. This is not something that bothers me because it's all about you as an individual. A person knows, what they like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
So you have to just be true to yourself and say, um, like I said, do I want to tolerate this and put up with this? Maybe if it said this is just something that he does to everybody.
Hmm.
You have to make a choice and say, okay, is this something that I could tolerate or be around long term? Because you're looking for a long term commitment, relationship, friendship, whatever it is you're looking for. So
Correct.
these things are that are happening. You have to be looking at them and say, okay, if I'm looking for long term, am I gonna is this gonna bother me and get under my skin to the point where it causes stress in the relationship? Because you don't want to go into a relationship starting off with stress.
No, absolutely not. Stress kills. And my philosophy is this: anybody that comes into your life, they should be coming in with a great purpose, a good purpose. It is just too early on in a friendship, situationship, or whatever to be having any kind of issues, to be experiencing thoughts of any kind of doubt. If you having any kind of thoughts about any kind of doubt early on, then the answer is already there. The answer is already no. Let me move on because you're not making me feel how I would like to feel. I would like to feel special, and you're not making me feel that way.
And then you guys have a conversation about that, or
Have
that's
we had a
something
conversation about?
about the fact that you want to, I think that was somebody else. I'm sorry. No, the conversation about being, the a whole idea of a man pursuing a woman and not the woman pursuing the man.
We didn't go in deep conversation about it, but the way he presented himself, like his parents are still married, been married for years. He's divorced, however, they're still amicable, whatever. And he's big on family. He presented himself as if he was like a family guy, a respectful man that respects ladies, respects this, respects that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, sounds like he good. But like I said, as time went on, that communication, because then we had some conversation. He talking about, well, you got it. This was Sunday, earlier when we were on the phone. You have to speak into existence what it is you want. And I'm like, well, honey, you preaching to the choir on that one. I already know all of that. So obviously, you ain't in my existence because you're not showing up as you should, as a gentleman, as someone that's consistent, as someone. We not on the same page. Obviously, we not on the same page because if we were, like I said, you would have communicated with me on your way to your travels. You would have communicated with me when you got there, and we would have had a set. You would have found a place close enough to where I stay where we could have met. I'm not what you thought. I was gonna drive, get off the freeway, like my friend said. Well, you meeting at a gas station? I'm gonna pull up to the gas station. I'm not 18 years old. I'm not pulling up to no park. I'm not pulling up to no gas station and get out and meet you. Hey, yeah, you look good. Oh, okay. Give you a hug. No, I'm not. No, not doing any of that. We could go sit down somewhere and, like I said, exchange coffee or a little wine or something. I'm a grown woman and I don't have time for the nonsense. I'm not going to allow you to play with me because I'm not into playing no kind of games. So if you're not serious and you kind of already showed me pieces of who you are. Like they say, curiosity killed the cat.
I was.
You was going to
It's
say
funny.
that?
It's funny you just said that because I was just sitting here thinking, I'm curious what his excuse is gonna be. Then you said curiosity killed the cat.
Yes, I'm curious too. That's why I said curiosity killed the cat. Good thing I'm not a cat. So I'm curious as to what his mumbo jumbo um, excuse is going to be, or what his conversation is going to sound like. So, all for all intents purposes, maybe just for the sake of our podcast, I might just take the phone call and see what he has to say so I can come back and report to everybody what it was he had to say. So make sure you guys stay tuned so I can let you know what his common courtesy where he fell short at and why, according to his words, my words from his mouth to my ears on what that was like. So, with that in mind, ladies, stand your ground, set your boundaries, stick to them. Don't let nobody sway you. Don't sway. You stand, what is it, 10 toes down. And don't let nobody move you. Don't cancel your plans for no dude because you don't want to be disappointed. So you run the show. You let them know. They say we have to teach people, train people how to treat us.
And also, people only treat you the way that you allow them to treat you.
Exactly. So if you keep on allowing somebody to give you the short end of the stick, guess what they're gonna keep giving? They're gonna keep giving you the short end of the stick because they're gonna figure you must like that end. So shit, I'm gonna keep giving you the short end. You don't want the long end because you ain't making me work for nothing. Is everything is just too easy. And if even if you make them work for something, they won't be mad at you if they really like you. They gonna be like, okay, shoot, she ain't playing. All right, let me get my act together. You know what I'm saying? Let me pay attention to the stuff she likes. Let me, see if I can do this for her and do that for her.
Yeah. And at the end, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be doing the same thing for him.
Exactly. Exactly. But somebody has to set it off. And so I'm like this. Once I see where we stand and I see you making an effort, oh, you best believe I got you. But I ain't got you if you ain't putting forth no kind of efforts. And again, I don't chase no man. I don't pursue no man. They gonna pursue me if interested, and then I'll approve you if I like you, and if I think this can go somewhere. If you have enough of the qualities that I'm looking for, if you have enough of the longevity things I'm looking for, and then we'll move on from there. So, again, stand your ground, set your boundaries, and don't let nobody change it. So, anyway, we're gonna wrap this session up. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, Joy, to this?
No, I think we said it all.
We said it all. Again, don't forget, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We have more juicy content that we can't wait to come back on here and let's talk about it. So make sure you comment down in the comment section. We really, really want to hear some of your experiences in the dating world. And how do you feel about common courtesy? Do you think he should have texted back and said something? Or do you think it's okay that he just left it where it was and just said nothing, leaving me to think all kinds of crazy stuff? That's another reason why you need to respond to people because then you leave the door open for them to think whatever it is they want to think about you. So anyway, yeah, curiosity killed the cat. So I'm curious, like you, I'm a joy. So if he responds, we definitely will be back with part two to fill you in on how that went. Now, with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, and we definitely look forward to seeing you guys on our next podcast. We look forward to you helping this channel grow. We want to have the most real, raw content going on out here without all the extra mess. I'm enjoying, girl. Did you know these YouTube streets is messy, girl? Ooh, I be looking at some of these other channels. Ooh, ooh. If YouTube was a fist fight, girl, I can't tell you how many people would have black eyes and busted lips because
They acting like they on Jerry, huh?
they act like they own Jerry Springer on here, girl, and I be looking at all the teeth. I be like, ooh, I'm glad I ain't in that lane over there. I'm gonna stay in this lane right on over here, where we gonna talk about some real stuff. We ain't finna get into all that other. Mm-mm. So don't come for me, honey, cause I ain't coming for none of y'all. I'm just saying, y'all got it going on out there in the YouTube streets. Anyway, I will see you all later. I'm enjoying. You gonna tell the people bye?
Enjoy the rest of your mindful Monday.
All right. See y'all.